takes a lot of energy to be an asshole. It's much better to be a nice guy. It's a lot easier to be a nice guy than an asshole.
And if you're an asshole, you are clearly hurting inside.
Yeah.
That's the part that kids learn when they get into their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. It takes everybody everyone's on a different track. But what you realize is, I realize all the people that are mean or angry or trolling, or when I encounter them in real life, short or abrupt or inappropriate, it's 100% a reflection of what's going on in their own souls. And for me, I don't know how to be upset for myself when I'm met with darkness. I'm only built, parented, and luck of the DNA, I default into compassion for them.
Yeah. I mean, I think, it may be, Gary, that you're third generation or second generation American? You're first?
I was born in the Soviet Union, Guy.
You were born in the Soviet Union?
I was, brother. So now, obviously, I was very young. I was 4, 5, but I grew up, I lived in a studio apartment with 7, 8 family members in Queens, New York for a couple of years when we first came. Like, I went on one family vacation. We stayed in a Holiday Inn in my entire childhood. Like, I really lived it. So my gratitude is off the charts.
Yeah. So, you have kids now, right?
Yes.
And like, I'm third generation and I worry about this. So you must really worry about this, because it seems to me like every succeeding generation, they're getting it easier and easier. And I'm not saying I suffered and, I came from a lower middle income family. So I wasn't poor, but I wasn't rich. And, so I don't want to, but I worry.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why. And I'm sorry to jump in. I apologize for jumping in, but let me say this, because I want to give you some flowers. Regardless of where someone starts their journey, what you represent, there's people who are third generation upper middle class, but they were the fourth generation. They were the individual that took the family to the moon, right? There's some people doing Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. As you know, many people, the thing you probably worry about, I do, like, we see the ups and downs of what the dollars do, but like, it's not that you grew up quote unquote poor, but let's call a spade a spade. You, over the last 50 years of your career, have changed the trajectory financially of your family.
Yes.
And you're the one who sees it most up close and personal of the biggest divide. It was a slow and steady climb. You created that multiple jump, and you can see it, and you see what ends up happening with prosperity. And America has had unlimited prosperity now for a long time. A lot of families go through it, is the thing that most people struggle with that work for things. They see entitlement up close and personal.
Yeah.
Entitlement and lack of accountability drives people that are accountable crazy.
You called it, bro. You called it.
It's real. And so, look, again, and then I mentioned it earlier, the thing that the kids have, kudos to them. My mom and I joke all the time that if I was growing up right now in this era where you could start a Shopify store and have a TikTok. She even said a joke the other day. She's like, forget about college. Definitely not, you wouldn't have graduated or gone. She goes, but forget about high school. She's like, I'm not even sure if you would have graduated middle school. She's like, because by 4th and 5th and 6th grade, I was checked out selling baseball cards. Like, I think the other thing that I have a lot of empathy for these kids, they don't want to go work at Kmart, or Starbucks for 15 or 20 bucks an hour. They literally know that in their hands, the devices started by the pioneers of technology that you grew up with have given them so many goddamn options.
Yeah.
My big thing to the kids is, if you're not winning with all these options, then you need to be accountable and realize you suck, not the world.
Tough love from GaryVee, baby.
A little bit. It's, if you have all these options and you don't want to do this grind work because you have all these options and then you're not winning, don't blame the algorithm. Don't blame the audience. Don't blame your parents. Blame yourself. That's how you'll actually get there.
Yeah.